date it is, but it does happen. So, well, that's just how it is sometimes when you're Mike Myers. All right, so are we getting any noise here? Sound level's good. Everything looks good. So I think I'm happy. I'm happy. This is iced tea. Don't get excited. Ah, and let's begin. Welcome to the Monday edition of the Mike Myers live stream Ask Mike Anything. The goal of this live stream is to provide those of us who are studying for CompTIA certifications an opportunity to talk to the man himself, the myth, the man, the legend, the godfather of IT, Mike Myers. And plus we give away fun stuff. So we concentrate mainly here on this live stream on the CompTIA A Plus Network Security Plus. We can certainly go outside of those on an as needed basis, as well as even outside of IT certifications. So do keep that in mind. We are here for you. We start here at 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time in Houston, Texas. And we will go until 3 o'clock or until the questions run out. I get one person saying my audio is going in and out. Is anybody else feeling like my audio is going in and out? Say something now. Otherwise, Jim Barham is going to be... Jim's like, never mind. See, Jim, you keep turning that knob back and forth. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Have a little more tea there, Mikey boy. Man, don't mind if I do. It's been an exciting week. We got another business line coming out. Of course, I gotta be a little bit sneaky about that until I get some more of the details coming. But a very, very, very big online company who y'all use. Oh, probably in the prime of your life, you'd probably use it almost daily. It's talking to me about doing some fun stuff, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm still waiting for some NDAs to get signed, but is very exciting. Looking forward to it. I'll give you more details as soon as I get them. All right, so basically the rules work like this, guys. You ask me questions and I answer them, okay? So the main way to ask questions is just type them right here into that chat window. While you're at there, click on the top of that where it says Top Chat and click on the live chat to get the algorithm out of the way. And keep it that way. It just runs a little bit better. We're also going to have we'll give away some practice questions today as well. Everybody likes practice questions, and we give them out 3 times a week here on the Total Seminars channel. So we'll keep up with that as well. So that's pretty much how those things work. Do keep in mind if you're the shy type, and there are some shy types out there, there's no big problem with that. Feel free to contact me through email. My website is www.totalsem.com. My 2 of my addresses are michaelm@totalsem.com and desweds@protonmail.com. Go ahead and just use the TotalSem. All of them are fine, though. And if you have questions, maybe they're more detailed questions, you need to think about it a little bit more, well, then definitely feel free to do it right there. So, Daniel, is PATA on the A+? No. PATA is not on the A+ anymore. However, IDE is conceptually. So make sure you understand your ATA command set versus your, what else might be out there. Enter the total toothbrush. Oh. Dave Rush, you're so confusing to me sometimes. I don't even know what he means. Yeah, dead air. I know. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, so it's actually fun. So starting on Thursdays, we're going to be shooting videos with our new folks, the National Cyber Group. And I think it's going to be called Two Bald Guys. Yeah, I know, really clever and creative. But if you get a chance, you start checking this out. In particular, I'm an entry-level trainer, right? I mean, that's my job. That's what I do. I get people started in life. And National Cyber Group really takes it to the next step. And, a lot of these things, I've never really got to play with, real endpoint tools. Or I've never really got to deal with SIM tools before. And we've done some good videos. But anyway, just check out National Cyber Group. And we're probably going to be repainting all these all these YouTube channels. Probably going to get this reorganized. I don't even know if we're going to stay on here, but we'll find out. Fuzzums, Mike, I had a question in regards to loopback address, as I am currently on that mode now. Okay, ask away. That's what we're here for. This is the AMA. Let me just take her. Andre's here. Good to see you. Ali's good to see you. Tell one, of course. Daniel. Who's Daniel? Akid. Mohammed. So I'm just scrolling through real quick to see if I've missed anything. Ki Seol. Seoul? Korean by some chance? Good morning, everyone. Anyone taking the N10008? Yes, we got lots of people taking that exam. As a matter of fact, first of all, welcome aboard. Be sure to write that check out to Mike Meyers. No, I'm kidding. It's all free. But be sure to join our Discord channel. Scroll through the live chat there and see if Dave Rush hasn't already put in a link. We've got a small, but not so small anymore, growing Discord channel, and do check it out. Please come aboard. Fuzzums, I'm here for the CompT, aren't we all, brother? TD Washington, good to see you, man. Daniel High, Total Wit Live. So, Jim, I hope your audio's working better. Good. Turn it on and on again. Blue Lantern, I talked to CyberNow Labs. They said they don't currently have the resources to place felons at jobs, but they hope to in the future. You know, I got to tell you, I would never have thought to ask that question. Sorry, you know, I will assume that you are a felon, or at least know one who's a felon. I give away. I gotta be careful. I don't want to lie here. As often as I have the opportunity, I give away books, and I give them all to the Texas prison system. In the state of Texas, the prisoners do a lot of work on refurbishing computers and things like this. And if you live in the state of Texas and you're like a school or a church or a nonprofit, you could just send a fax to this one fax number and basically say, I need, you know, this many laptops, this many desktops, this many whatevers, printers, color laser printers, routers, whatever. And a truck from the federal prison system shows up usually the next day. The stuff isn't brand new, but it's in fine condition. And they do a really good job. I've actually been kind of proud to work with the Texas prison system. I've actually gone up to the unit where they do the work, and it's all run completely by the prisoners. You know, in Texas, the prisoners even make their own clothes. So I'm hanging out with these guys. And just to get into this program, you have to be like a double secret trustee. It's almost impossible to get into the program. Where they're fixing up all these computers and laptops and all this stuff. And I remember I was being interviewed by the prison newspaper. And I remember the prison newspaper guy going, oh, don't worry about me. I'm not like them. And he's pointing at the prisoners. Now, guys, keep in mind, there's no bars here, all right? It looks like kind of an ugly warehouse. An ugly one-story warehouse, okay? But there's no bars between me and the rest of these guys. You know, there's not much in the way of visible guards. These guys fight for these positions mainly because, for one thing, this is one of the few places in Texas prison system that's air conditioned. They don't air condition it for the prisoners. They air condition it for the equipment. I know. It's a funny place I live. But it was just very interesting experience to see all this. And newspaper report is not like them. Basically, he's saying he's a short timer. That to get in these programs, you have to have like 5-year sentences at least or something like that. It's very fascinating. But yeah, I got to tell you, it is. I feel for people who are coming out of prison. I truly do. There are angles to get in, but none of them are easy or pretty. And I think if I was coming out of prison looking for work, in the United States, I'd probably go right to UPS. I know that they hire felons, but yeah, it's tough in the world of IT. I'm very sorry. I wish I had an easy answer for you there, Blue Lantern. Suzuki Sakoba, hey guys. Mike, I had a question in regards to loopback address. Okay, okay. Sandar Wally Kempman, where can we get A plus practice because we have received your online courses but have no experience on it, never touched CPU, motherboard, and so on. Where you want practice questions? Well, one place you can get them is right here. Do keep in mind that there's some other options here. Number one, please understand that I sell practice questions to make money. That's how I buy these really cool glasses in this house. So I sell practice questions. There is nobody reputable out there who gives them away for free. But in order to buy my practice questions, well, first of all, just because you're nice enough to show up here today, I give everything half off, what we call bundles. So in order to pass any IT certification they need instruction, which is going to be either an instructor or a video. Number two, they're going to need reference, which is going to be a book. And number three, they're going to need practice questions. So here at the Total Seminars, for anybody who shows up here, we offer a bundle, and this bundle just includes an ebook and practice questions. We call our practice questions the Total Tester. That's what we call our practice questions. All right, so just because you're nice enough to be here now today, you can get the ebook and the practice questions for 50% off. So we're already about the cheapest there are, so this is even crazier, even crazier. But anyway, in order to get that offer, Dave Rush will put a link on the in the live chat. But in order to take advantage of that offer, you got to go to my website, www.total7.com. Head over to www.total7.com and go over to our merchant area. And let's say you're interested in Network Plus. Get the Network Plus ebook. Get the Network Plus practice questions. And then just before you check out, in the discount bar, put the word REBEL. REBEL, Rebel. And you get it for half off. So it's an amazing deal. So that's one place where you get the practice questions. I also give away practice questions here. Today we'll be giving away some practice questions. So stick around. All you need to have, it's an online product. So all you need to do is win and you get 90-day free access. So it's a good deal. Okay, let's take a look. 206, Daniel. ATA is a command and connection standard. Could you explain this further? No, I think I explained it really good in the book. So here's the challenge we run into, Daniel. In situations like this, you now know that ATA is a command and connection standard because you just wrote that down. At this level, I'm no longer wanting to really lecture. What I want to do is ask more detailed questions. For example, when you say to me, could you explain this further? The answer is, Daniel, I can talk about ATA connections for 5 to maybe 8 hours of lecture. 5 for sure. So when you say things to me like, can you explain this further? I could start a 5-hour lecture right now. And unfortunately, probably about half of you guys would find it interesting. But what's more important to me is you need to be able to detail your questions better now to help me get an idea of where you want to go with that. ATA uses LBA, how so? Okay, here's a good detailed question. All right. So keep in mind that the original ATA standards did not use LBA, right? They used their own standard, which was called back then, was called CHS values. And if you're going to have a physical hard drive that's full of these, well, back then 512 byte sectors, you've got to be able to organize that hard drive somehow. We call this partitioning, so that we can write files to it and save files to it. That's the whole reason we're using mass storage, right? We want to write files to it and we want to read files from it. And sometimes we want to modify files, which would include erasing them, but whatever. So there has to be some kind of methodology that tracks all of the individual sectors, which are all over the drive, with some kind of organizing system. And part of that is going to be the file system itself, like NTFS, which will do some of that. But equally, that can be part of the partitioning. And there have been so many different ways to do that over the last 30 years that it almost boggles the mind. The one thing that has been fairly standardized for about 20 years now is the operating system, which in the Windows world tends to be NTFS. But even there's a lot of flexibility there in terms of, but the technology's changed so much. So when you ask me how ATA uses LBA, this becomes tricky because I think what I have with you, Daniel, is you are a lot more technical than you need to be. And that's a good thing. I like being more technical because it's interesting to me. However, I do need to warn you, you are being more technical than you need to be either A, a good tech, or B, past the A+, which is, I'm assuming you talk about A+, because we're talking about ATA. Yes. So, just curious where we could answer this question easily. We could probably start with, I got a little time today. It's only 2:16. I'm looking up an easy way to teach this to you. Oh, this is the old ATA T13 standard. Nope, that won't work. All right, I still want to answer the question, though. You have cylinders, heads, and sectors per track. I've got an entire demonstration on this. I'm trying to think of a way to teach it. I'm coming up a little stiff on an easy way to do this. I mean, I could lie to you a little bit. Let me go ahead and read the rest of your question, Daniel. Also ATA uses LBA. How so? Question mark. Doesn't file systems also use LBA? How does file system and command sets work together? Well, a command set is just a set of things that you can say to another device. The command sets are almost like a series of buttons, and you have to press. These are the only way you can interface is by pressing these buttons. It's interesting, fascinating, Daniel. I'm interested by your questions. So most certainly the file system uses LBA. Absolutely true. However, ATA is the standard by which hard drives are standardized. So until ATA said you will use the LBA standard, that it wasn't used, then the file systems would have to fall back on the old cylinders, head, and sectors per track values like we used to do in the old days. Uses it how? Fascinating way to... Daniel, you have an interesting brain. Interesting brain. Doesn't file system also use the LBA? Just because ATA standard says to use the LBA, does that mean the file system can't use the LBA? No. The ATA standard says, starting with, I think it was ATA 5, don't hold maybe ATA 6, a TAPI 6, it said you will use LBA. And by using LBA, we got larger partitions and all kinds of good stuff. You know, it almost sounds like you're saying, just because don't also file systems use the LBA even though ATA uses it? They can all use it. It's not like only one person or the other gets to use it. Interesting. Fuzzums at 207. It's already 219. I need to hurry up. It's to do with the IP addresses that I was doing. Oh, this is the question. I wasn't clear to me about this particular topic. If you could explain a little bit more about that, I must have scrolled past it. I had a question in regards to loopback address. All right, I guess I can talk about loopback address for a minute. In the world of networking, it's often a very convenient thing to be able to say, I need to call back to myself sometimes. And that port, that RJ45 port that you have plugged into the back of your desktop system or whatever it is, sometimes the device itself needs to talk to the port. And if you were to look inside most, I don't know exactly what standard of Ethernet you're using, but you've got 8 wires in there, okay? And 4 of those wires, it's not these 4, they have intercrosses and stuff. 4 are using for sending, and 4 are being used for receiving data in general, okay? So back in the old days, it was very common. You would have a computer that was plugged into a piece of cable. That piece of cable got plugged into a switch somewhere, and you could go through a little process called loopback. But in order to loop back, you would have to tell them, what do you want to loop back to, right? And so they gave, by default, all IPv4 stacks, the loopback is 127.0.0.1. And on IPv6 stacks, it's : 1. And the loopback was used primarily as like a diagnostic tool more than anything else. You could send a signal out, get it to the switch, come back to the switch, and come back in. And at least it was one way to be able to have a fairly good concept that, number one, you had a good layer 1 connection to your switch. And then number 2, you probably had good IP settings, or at least you had an active IP stack. So that's what the loopback is. In reality, most network cards, when they receive a loopback command, they just do some internal circuitry. So for decades, the rule always was get a loopback plug, which is, remember, there was 8 wires. You could wire them yourself. You actually make your own little loopback plug. You could buy them on eBay for pennies. And the idea is that you could at least test the connection of the network card itself. No, it would not test it all the way to the switch and back, but with this loopback plug, you could at least make it switch back. The reality is, loopback plugs don't even work on the vast majority of network cards anymore. They just run it, they do like an internal little check. So I hope that answers your question. On better network cards, you can still use loopback devices. But you're going to be paying like $100, $50 to $100 for these network cards. These are not going to be like the built-in network card that's in your motherboard. It must be me, past the 1,002. Thank goodness. Congratulations to you. It must be. Big round of applause to you. Done well. For low-income individuals, would you recommend them getting Security Plus certified and then take the CyberNow Labs training? No. Look, it must be me. Everybody's different. I never, ever want to hear people saying, I'm going to get these certifications or this training and then go get a job. Okay? Go get a job now. Go to work. Anybody I've met, at least in the United States, who doesn't have a job right now, it's from their personal choice. The United States economy is red hot. And every time I meet somebody who doesn't have a job, then they start telling me stuff like, oh, well, I don't want to move out of my tiny town of 600 people, or, oh, I need to only work remotely, or I can never work a Saturday, or I have to make a minimum of $175,000 a year. You know what I mean? Work is good. You should be working. Work. Always work. Well, Mike, what are certifications for? Oh, I hate it when I start doing the fake questions. Certifications are only to help you get your next job. So you get a cert, and then you start looking for your next job. Is CyberNow Labs training a great option? It's an incredible option. It's an amazing option. Is it your option? I don't know you. I don't know what your goals are. I don't know what your passions are. I don't know what your income is. It must be me. The only thing I want to hear you say is I'm working. There's nothing else that matters. Well, lots of things matter. I want to hear about your good times and all that, but I don't want to hear about you working. It's all about working. Does CyberLabs now have a great program? It does, but it's a $6,800 program, and we don't have any scary student loan we're not going to get involved with that. And the other thing is I want to keep a pass rate around 90%. So We're not letting anybody in. I need people who are going to instantly get a good job, or within 90 days get a good job. So my pass rates look good. And not only do I want you to get a good job, I want you to get paid 90,000 to start or something like that. But it's not for everybody. It doesn't have to be. You can go for your get a security plus, get some entry level help desk jobs. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. CyberNow Labs is faster. Huh. Dave Rush just told me we've never done an LBA presentation. Well, I think somewhere around here I may have one. Dave, help me remember. Maybe we could do an LBA presentation. I have one laying around somewhere. Do. So it must be me. Yeah, maybe that could be good. But what's more important to me is that you're working. Daniel Klein at 216. Hi, Mike. I recently passed your Security Plus. Congratulations, Daniel. Round of applause to you, sir. Your training materials were amazing. Aren't they, though? Lost you. I am now considering applying for CyberNow Labs for the cohort that's already in progress. Daniel, I know that I am a investor in CyberNow Labs. I'm a big investor in them. I think they have an amazing program. I'm telling you, do I want you to be in that program? The only way I want anybody to go into the CyberNow Labs program, the only way is that if I have a darn near 100% confidence that you will pretty much instantly get a job. It's not hard. It's not a matter, am I smart enough? Am I dumb enough? Am I old enough? Am I young enough? That's not the things. It's dedication. It's passion. It's motivation. It's integrity. Honesty. Those are the things I need to see. And because I do not want to be one of these guys 3 years from now where people are like, I gave $6,800 and I didn't get nothing. I'm not even going to get into that game. I know that CyberNow Labs has amazing placement. I am fearful. And, if you're really seriously considering about it, here, send me an email personally. Let me put this up for you guys. Send an email to me personally. Send it to michaelm@total7.com and basically go, Mike, can I handle CyberNow Labs? And I'll answer the question for you. We'll talk. CyberNow Labs would talk to you too. But I don't want to just start painting CyberNow Labs as this amazing. It is an amazing program. I want everybody to be happy and making money. Daniel, I think you would do fine. Go for it, man. Fuzzums, I'm actually studying CompTIA. Well, I assume that, right? CompTIA Network Plus, maybe? And I'm trying to understand about the network address translation. So my question is, if you could explain more about it, and also what the purpose is. Well, I can. Basically, the whole idea behind natural address translation, or NAT as we call it, is we were running out of IP addresses a bazillion years ago. And with NAT, you could take like a router, one router box that shares one public IP address and share it with a bunch of devices on one local area network. Okay, so that's what it's there for. That's the only reason NAT exists. A lot of people say NAT exists as a firewall because you can't actually get to the individual systems inside the network, and it's hard to do that. But it's not a firewall function. It's just something that was invented in the 90s to save IP addresses. Isn't that crazy? That's all it is. One of the things you need to do to help you understand NAT better is look at a router. Just look at a router and think about, on one side of most home routers, there's a WAN connection or an internet connection you plug into your ISP, and then the other side there might be 4 or 5 ports, but all those ports are inside, and you got to start thinking about WAN, and then your LAN connection. Because most of these gateway routers for home are really just 2 ports. There's one out to the internet, and then there's one inside. Well, Mike, on the back of mine, there's 6 ports. Yeah, but if they're all hooked to just the same thing, right? Imagine a 2-port router and a switch. That's all that is. But that is an FUSMs. I mean, that is an important thing when you first start thinking about networking. You should be drawing lots and lots of circles with network IDs in them, and just playing with that and getting that structure right. Intense Beast at 229. I jumped. I'll back up some. Hey, Mike, I just got my CompTIA Plus certification of completion. Where did you get that? That means you've completed some training. Now you have to take the exam. So in order to take the exam, you're going to have to register for the exam and go through all of those steps. You've got the training, but remember, you've got the training. Now you should be doing practice questions. You should be using mine, of course, but you might want to consider getting somebody else's. More than one. It's never a bad idea. So what you're doing now is you finish school. Now you're studying for finals. Does that make sense? Matu's completed A+. Well done. It must be me. What kind of personalities do you see in a lot of cybersecurity? I see everything. I'm not going to let you use your personality as some type of limiting factor. I'm not going to let that happen. See all kinds of personalities. All are welcome. Sorry, I got to multitask on you guys again. Sorry about this. Sorry. Scroll back a little bit. Peter Hunt. Good to see you, Peter Hunt. TC, good to see you. Does CyberDown Labs ask you to relocate for... Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. And TC, that's a very good question. Thank you for that. There are some remote SOC analyst jobs, but you're entry level, guys. The last thing you want to do in any career or anything you want to do is be remote at an entry level point. You need people with you to communicate and connect. There are remote jobs, but no. If you're going to be using, I need a remote job as a reason to get into CyberDown Labs, get out now. Just turn around and ask for your money back. They'll happily give it to you. I need, you've got to have some flexibility in life. You just got to. Yeah, I know I'd like to have all my jobs come to me. And I'm not picking on you, man. Just TC, I'm not picking on you at all. You're not even asking the question that I'm saying here. But man, you got to get out there, people. Don't let Corona do this to us. We've got a bunch of locked in and weird people. It must be me. I have a job outside of IT. Outstanding. It must be me. That's all I wanted to hear. Good. So start looking for a job in IT. Zachary Teal, what's the best way to get experience in Registry Editor and Active Directory? Play with them. Like Zachary, one of the things I'd recommend you do is download a copy of Windows Server. I think it's you can still get like 2016 Server. Go to Microsoft. So you remember, one of the things you need to learn is how to use virtual machines, right? Well, you should be grab yourself that copy of VirtualBox that you hear about in my training, download, make yourself an internal network, and put a Windows Server in there, and then set it up as Active Directory. Do the whole shebang. You're going to mess up horribly, like 100 times. It's okay. You delete the virtual machine and you start over. It's good for your soul. Registry, you don't really. Just probably the best thing to do with the registry itself is just don't save anything you're doing. All right, do an export, but don't do an import. Um, just a couple of things like that. But you're not expected to have real world experience with every single tool that comes up. Why is this popping up? Kim Jong-un. Hey, Grandpa. Hello, Kim Jong-un. Con, what are web shells? I don't know. It's some kind of malware thing, I thought. It's a script. Here, Dave Rush is saving me. I don't know what they are. So, Con, for the record, the fact that I don't know what they are pretty much guarantees you're not going to be on any of the certification examinations that I train for. It's a post-exploitation tool. It's a script that's constantly running to look for something on a system that's already been cracked. Here, let me Google that for you. I'm so helpful. Hey, Brittany. I am looking into community college courses for IT. What do you think? Is it wise to take more courses even though I have a bachelor's degree? No. Brittany, you gotta go to work, kid, and you need to. I mean, we all know Brittany. She's been a long time participant here, but we know her. Brittany, technically, she could be a dude, right? So I don't mind singling you out a little bit. Brittany, I'd love to see you be a little bit braver, and and get out there. I love having you here on here. I love talking with you. I've spoken to you on a personal basis, but I want you to spread your wings and get out there and get to work. I almost feel like you keep wanting to go back to school or grab another cert or whatever it might be. And I'm on your team, Brittany. I'm on your team. I'm with you. But get out there, man. You can do this. You can do this. Fuzzums, you're always welcome to email me. Fuzzums, please join the Discord channel. It's such an amazing deal. We've got, like, I got to tell you, I am not the best tech on the Total Seminars channel. There's a lot of people on here who are as good at tech as I am. Tolawood, Andre, there's lots of other folks in there. And they're really good about getting on that Discord channel, especially if you have a more long, drawn-out type of question you need to ask, or if you got a camera and a headset you want to hold something up for people to look at. That can all be done. And check out the Discord channel for sure. Tell you what, let's go ahead. It's already 2:37. Let's have a quick competition. What have I been talking about so far already? I'm getting ready to do a question. Folks, we're about to have a competition. We are competing for 90-day free access to the Total Tester practice questions of your choice. Total Seminars has lots and lots of different practice questions. This is in no way limited to just A+, Net+, Security+, but far more than that. So I need to come up with a question that should be interesting. Give me 1 second. I'm coming up with. Dave Rush yells at me. He's like, "Why don't you have questions ready?" And I never have questions ready because I don't know why. I don't know why. So I'm getting ready for a question. So what we do here is the first person who writes the question down that satisfies me is going to win that 90-day free access. If you've won a few times before, back it up a little bit, okay? Let other people compete as well. Keep in mind, we don't have that many folks in here. If you really want to win 3 or 4 times, I'm not going to stop you. I just... Okay, guys, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. So we're talking. Okay, here's the question. You guys ready? Fingers on the keyboard. Here's the question. SATA drives, which is probably the most popular interface we have, well, currently, SATA hard drives, uh, predate a technology called PATA. What does the P and the S stand for? So you have to write down 2 words to win. What does the P and the S stand for? What does the P in PATA and the S in SATA stand for? So the first person to write down the 2 words that I want to see. All right, we got some folks playing now. Good, good, good. Okay, we got lots of winners in here. David Mohan. David Mohan, you cannot hide from me. David, it's good to see you again, my friend. It's been a while. Hope you're doing okay, man. The inventor of the verb, to be Mohan. All right, we got some winners here, folks. You guys ready? Here we go. The winner today who wins 90-day access to the Total Seminars Total Tester of your choice is Fitch, Fitchthnb. Let me write that down. Did I get it right? Fitchthnb. All right, well, congratulations to you. Big round of applause. Fitch TNB, you have won 90-day free access to the Mike Meyers Total Tester practice questions of your choice. Now, in order to get your prize, Fitch, I'm just going to call you Fitch because, you know, we go way back. Nom. In order to get that prize, Fitch, you got to send an email to my buddy Dave Rush. Send him an email at davr@total7.com. In that email, Fitch, be sure to add your YouTube name, which is Fitch_TNB. In the email, also put your email address in the body. Yes, I know it's an email. Use my return address. Nope, won't do it. And then number 3, let us know which exam you want. We have lots of exams. Dave Rush has got all this information in the chat window for you there, Fitch. So congratulations to you. Well done. And we like it. Desire in parallel, Junior Granola. You're a funny person. Guys, I am so bad at social media. It's just awful. I have no skills at social media, really. About the only thing I actually use heavily at all is LinkedIn, and I don't do it nearly as well as I should. Ugh. All right, let's just look for some more questions. Khan is telling us the SANS Institute. SANS is a great. I'm all about SANS Institute. Great stuff. Yeah, it must be me. Be careful. SANS courses are very, very expensive. You think CyberNow Labs is expensive, $6,800? Check out almost any other SANS course. I don't think that SANS does any courses under 5 figures anymore, but I'm not sure about that. Arif Khan, yeah, let others win for once. Yeah, I think we definitely let some others win. All right, looks like it's starting to slow down a little bit here, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Listen, folks, thank you so much for showing up. I will be back here on Wednesday. And remember, the whole goal here is to ask Mike anything, so ask me questions. That's what we're doing here. I'm here every Monday and Wednesday at 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time from Houston, Texas. Also, do keep in mind my good friend Dave Rush is here on Fridays. Dave Rush concentrates on the Raspberry Pi, but don't worry about that. People are like, well, I don't want to worry about the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, you do, because you could save a ton of money studying for A+, Net+, Security Plus if you use a Raspberry Pi instead of using a more complicated system. And Dave has made it his holy grail. Holy grail. To make the Raspberry Pi a great tool for your training. And he's right here at the Total Seminars channel, same bat time, same bat channel, and that should do it. Okay, folks, I am out the door here today. Keep your questions in mind if I missed any. Sorry about that. I always catch them the next week. So until then, this is your Uncle Mikey saying bye-bye. Guys, I will see you on Wednesday. Y'all have a good one. Bye!